one of the things that you may have thought about with imaginary numbers is how do they act? They're imaginary, so they're not real, but we call them numbers. So do they work like numbers? Are there special rules about them? So today we're going to look at how you can add and subtract complex numbers, which are numbers that include imaginary components to them. So even though imaginary numbers are not real, they follow the same rules as variables do when adding and subtracting them. So our goal today is to keep the imaginary parts together and then keep the real parts together. We're essentially going to be looking at each piece as one of two things. A piece is either real or it's imaginary. We know a number is real if it's just a regular number. It's something that we would have seen in fourth grade math, 1, 2, 3, 4, stuff like that, the numbers that you're used to. But if you see an I attached to something, if you see like right here, we have 6i, then you know it's imaginary. So here we have 5 plus 6i plus 2 plus 3i. So one thing you can do is highlight the real parts, right? The parts that are just numbers, and we are doing addition, right? It's 5 plus and then right over there. So we'll do 5 plus 2. And then we have our imaginary components. We have the 6i, which is, again, positive 6i. And then we have positive 3i. It's important to remember that we are adding here. It says adding. Very important. So we have 6i plus 3i. So again, you could just kind of think about currency, right? Like money, right? If you have $5 and then you have $2, well, then you have $7 in total. But then here you have like an imaginary currency. So maybe a younger sibling kind of told you, I'll pay you $6 funny bucks, and then you get 3 more, right? It's almost like we're paying with Monopoly money here. If you have 6 Monopoly dollars and you get 3 more, well, then you have 9 total Monopoly dollars, Good luck taking that to the store and having them accept that. But that would be our final answer there. The real part being 7 and the imaginary part, I don't know why I wrote 6. It should be a 9. So we have 7 plus 9i would be the sum of this total right here. So let's look at another quick example. Here we have the real part of 10 plus 2i plus 6. And then our imaginary part is the minus 5i. So again, we're going to just rewrite things as 10 is the real part plus 6, which is another real part, for a total of 16. And then 2i plus negative 5i. So here's where I usually see a lot of people having issues, right? You could just think of this as 2 plus negative 5, or 2 minus 5. It's the exact same thing, and that'll be negative 3i. So our total here is 16 minus 3i. You could write plus negative 3i, or you could just write minus 3i. Both of them are the exact same. So that was 2 examples of addition, right? We were adding here and here. Well, if you remember when we were subtracting quantities, the first thing that we did was we took the quantity and wrote it as addition, but then we just changed the sign of everything that came after it. So this is going to be minus 7 plus 3i. So let's look at our real parts. We have 14 and negative 7. And then our imaginary parts are 10i and 3i. So I'm going to go ahead and do 14 plus negative 7. And that'll equal 7. And then I get 10i plus 3i. Again, if you look, because of the subtraction, I changed the sign, right? This was positive, now it's negative. This is minus, well, now it's plus. Subtraction means opposite. It means to do the opposite of what is written. If it's adding, you're going to turn it into subtraction. If it's addition, you're going to turn it into subtraction. Okay, and one last one here. So again, I'm going to rewrite this. This will be 5 minus 4i. I'm going to change it to plus, but then everything after it, the sign has to change. So positive 2 is now negative 2. Plus I is now minus I. So our real part is 5 and negative 2. So we're going to do 5 plus negative 2. And then our imaginary part is minus 4i minus I. So minus 4i minus I. 5 plus negative 2, do that in Desmos, is 3. And then negative 4i minus I is minus 5i, for a total of 3, and then minus 5i. So that is how we add and subtract with complex numbers. One part is real, one part is imaginary.